I'm not even appetized to buy those until they fall like another third. And, this morning we're in the Discord, like discussing rental property and like dividend investing, and how values the move again. So I think these like speculative down the risk curve growth plays, and I think all of crypto like kind of falls in the growth play along with like tech stocks and speculative things like Uber that have like never turned a profit. I just think those are kind of falling out of favor as interest rates go up, and we go through the cycles of life. So you just kind of weather the storm with the assets you hold and want to hold long term, and the thesis hasn't changed for those. And you change where you put new capital to work. And that's why we're starting to look for things that have cash flow and make sense, and pulling back towards base layer one things like holding just ADA and holding stable tokens and Ethereum, Bitcoin, all that stuff. I think that's kind of like our internal process for the portfolio I manage.
Smart man. There's some good stuff in there. I think we definitely need to be prepared for lower at all times, right? Most volatile asset class in history. So, yeah, buckle up, manage your mental health, manage your stress, because it's a marathon, right? Like this bear period could last 2 years for all we know. But interest rates, I think it's interesting you bring that up because they've climbed kind of rapidly, faster than I kind of expected. Not to make this a political space, but it's nice to see the interest rate climb.
Yeah, I mean, we can't give free money to people, and that was kind of what was allowing investors to go down the risk curve and just get super speculative because money was basically almost free to play with. And like as that capital flow tightens up, so have to the investors. And like we're in this weird period here, and this is where crypto kind of comes in. We're all beholden to, like I've been saying for weeks now, we're like beholden to the Wizard of Oz and like the man behind the curtain, like the Federal Reserve, and they have to like thread this weird needle of stopping inflation and like raising interest rates, but also not stopping it too much that business owners and people go into like depression and recession. And I feel like that's so hard for any human being to thread, that it's tough. And that's why we kind of all gravitate towards cryptocurrency in the future over here. And I think that's why you see Bitcoin and Ethereum, and Cardano like slightly outperforming the legacy markets a little bit. Like the chart for even, either Cardano, ETH, or Bitcoin still to me looks more appetizing to put capital in than like the NASDAQ and a whole bunch of tech stocks right now, which I think is really interesting. I still haven't I'm not putting new capital to work in that way, but just eyeballing it for the future. The future still looks bright to me. And I think, like you said, their proper bet sizing and mental health comes into a big play there, is like not going all in, like knowing you have a proper portfolio size and placing your bets accordingly in different places and making sure you have diversity of investment that, if one thing blows up like UST, you're not completely broke, or something like that.
Nick, did you hear that? He said that it's more appetizing to invest in cryptocurrencies than in tech stocks. Did you triggered? Nick?
Uh-oh. We might have hurt him.
Just my personal. This is my personal opinion. This is not the opinion of Rare Bloom or Rare Finance. This is my personal opinion as a portfolio manager.
That's what's up.
Not financial advice in any way.
I mean, any investment talk between me and Nick or in an Epoch meeting always results in me being like, more risky, yeah. And Nick being like, less risky, please, my God. So it's
sounds like a good partnership.
It's very good.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what makes teams good is, you guys find that good medium when investing, and sometimes we go down the risk curve. Like I hold some very risky stuff that is probably going to zero. But at the time I was like, I'm doing this, you know, and you also hold some value stuff. So you have to find that balance in life is very important.
Yeah, you knew, hey, if I lost this, it's totally fine type situation. Yeah, I just need to like double my rates right now and then I'm fine. We're good.
That's also important. Like, I think like not living off of crypto. And that's one thing like I've been looking at to call a bottom with all the Web3 gaming stuff we do is like the end of last year. I know so many people that quit their jobs to start a Web3 gaming guild, and it was so hot in Axie Infinity. And I think when a lot of those people like go back to work in the real world, then I can call a bottom. That's my canary in the coal mine.
Tough.
And I'm one of those people. So
It's like 3 months of runtime, right? The amount of money they have left over to live off.
I don't know. It's getting pretty grim right now. And Axie Infinity, one of my partners just said we don't even make enough in SLP to pay our video editor anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I've been hearing reports that the phone data time in the Philippines, it costs more for their phone data than what they're earning out of the game, and people are just dropping like flies.
Yep. Welcome to the rugs. There sometimes somebody said yesterday that rugs are intentional. Is that true? Because I always thought a rug could be unintentional, right? Like you could just be in a situation where like everyone bails and like yeah, there's no rug left, but like you know
That's when you get carpeted.
carpeted. They take the carpet. It's brilliant. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead on the carpeted. I think that needs to be like the next level of rugging. Like, you know, like the rug you could put back, but if you rip out all the carpet, like you've gone too far.
It's a rug they nail down to the fucking floor.
Yeah, that's what pegging really is. It's you just nail you nail the rug down, and it's just a little bit harder to pull up.
Thanks for that.
So we have 17 minutes till we kick off the show. What other banter do folks want to cover?
Dish is dropping NFTs, and they have their first 5G network in Vegas. That just happened.
What? Dish Network? That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Seeing all the partnerships come out have been pretty crazy. Was it Budweiser partnered with Zed Run for the horses and Clydesdales?
Cool.
And then what was the other large partnership yesterday that was announced with Polygon? I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, it's a lot of actual like IRL mainstream fiat businesses that are getting involved, which I don't know. I think it indicates just like stronger belief in crypto and that these partnerships can happen. And it's just, you know, the start, but it's just good to see.
Wouldn't it make sense that those big corporations kind of do all their marketing in a bear market and try and make as much money as they could?
Oh, for sure. And they also probably, you know, it's one of those things where they haven't done it before. So they're all just kind of like, well, I guess we can try it out and see what happens. And in a bear market would be obviously one of the best times for the corporation. And it might be one of those strategic things, whereas during the bull, there wasn't as many partnership announced, or maybe not like a lot of action when it came to those companies, probably because they knew through whatever financial advisors, like, hey, like let's plan and figure it out. And then when the funding comes and when the actual time comes to deploy these projects, it'd be around now or in a few months and things like that.
I agree 100% with cookthyme. These deals were getting worked, and it's really nice to see these brands come in because they're coming in for long term and they don't care about actual price. They care about the utility and brand and communities that are being built here. And like even legacy investors, I was watching a podcast this morning from some guys on Wall Street, and they say, you know, like this crypto, it's not going away. We we might be going back towards value investing, but this stuff isn't going away. There's plenty of smart minds that are building, in Cardano, on Ethereum, building with Bitcoin. There's so many smart minds working on this that there will be something built here in the future that's very, very usable for the world. It's just so early. And I know I can't say that on Cardano Over Coffee. It's so early and it's hard to tell what that will be. And there's a lot of noise in between, with all the Ponzi's and stuff that pop up. And it's really tough for people to decipher. But the thing I was mentioning yesterday, the partnership that was huge yesterday, was Facebook. Meta partnered with Polygon for Facebook and Instagram NFTs and stuff. So I think those are all really good. And like watching them partner with other chains is interesting. It'll be really nice to see all these brands partner with Cardano at some point.
So I saw that. I'm very confused. Why would Meta pick Polygon to run the NFT game? Like, not to sound like a maxi, but like, I think there's a lot of other chains that they could have chosen, and like choosing the one that's going to get beaten up by all the Ethereum L2s. Like, I don't know.
Who started Poly, and what's the relationship to Zuckerberg?
Well, Polygon and Solana Labs are like throwing around a lot of money right now to entice people to build with them. And I think you have like a lot of people from the Web2 space that want to get in and are meeting these people at live events and don't necessarily know any better. And it's going to take time for that education to like seep through to that crowd, or like the younger crowd that actually is educated enough to reach those positions in these corporations, to make the correct decisions. And some of them are going to stumble, and choose the wrong chain and do stuff like that. But just to see the brands come in like that and see those corporations making that shift, I think is a very powerful statement to like the long-term vision that we all see here. Like, forget about price falling, forget about like, your investment going down in value. Like, the point is to be here and build in a sustainable ecosystem that we think is going to be around for decades. And like, when places like Meta and Budweiser and all these people are getting in and trying to understand, I don't think it's going anywhere, and you see a bunch of large investors too. You see people like, we were just discussing yesterday, Mark Cuban made a post about, blockchain is going to be the future of software as a service. And the companies that are building on blockchain that are, SaaS companies are the future. And, making statements like that while the market is down and still investing are huge bullish statements that this industry isn't going anywhere, regardless of the price.
People don't get rich at the top, they get rich at the bottom.
Yes, Hero. And that's why, it might be like a little cynical, but I'm waiting for the Max Payne cries. Like the people that are like, I'm out of here. Crypto isn't going to do anything. Like, AWS solves all this for cheaper. That's when I'm buying.
Well, my first Cardano buy just got hit. My personal opinion, and this is not financial advice whatsoever, is the bottom, and I've called this a month and a half ago in several chats, was between 56 to 53 cents. It dipped to 52 and then immediately bounced back to 60. If the 56 cents or the 56 cents area breaks, we would drop down to like 40, and then we have that would be like the support from the breakout, right? So that's like the major support area. If we break that, we're fucked.
So I'll take Hero's floor and whack it in half. So 25 cents. That's my floor.
I like Hero's floor. I actually had a line there myself. I hope we can hold it. But I also see the flip side of that coin where I could see us going lower. But we have so much good things coming. Like, I honestly hope this industry as a whole moves forward this year. Like, I hope Ethereum gets to their merge, and I hope that we continue to execute on Cardano and push past them. Like, I hope that Bitcoin DeFi starts to take off a little bit. Like, I just want more people to realize the use cases here and come into the ecosystem, and all of us grow, I think is important. And I think this ecosystem here on Cardano is best poised to blow past everybody with the slow and steady approach of making sure everything's built right from the start and not trying to, steer the Titanic after we hit the iceberg.
Just so
Yeah.
Lido rubbed himself. Congratulations, Lido.
Yeah, he declined co-host and then got rugged.
I did not decline co-host, so feel free to bring me back up. I just rugged. I feel like they should add a confirmation button to the rug button.
So one thing that I want to kind of chime in on, Guru actually mentioned this. So Guru, if your ears are burning, I'm sorry, but you said something really smart at Epoch's End yesterday, and you were talking about like how we've forgotten how far we've come, and like all the good news that's come out, right? Like Rand's over here talking about Meta, one of the kind of most successful tech companies that's been rebranded as a metaverse company. We're seeing Coinbase kind of listed, like available to trade. We have a coin, that's being kind of getting wrecked right now. But if you would have gone back a year ago and been like, yo, we're going to be trading Coinbase stock and Facebook's going to be gone and like Meta's going to be there and like JP Morgan's going to be recommending that people have 5% of their holdings in crypto and like, Uncle Charlie's going to get a tattoo on his back. Like, you'd say you're crazy. But yet again, here we are, and now we're being all whiny about, what we don't have. So I don't know. It's definitely quite a lot of progress is being made at the macro level, like Rand is saying. Like, we want to see the overall industry succeed, and those are the moves that are harder to undo and reverse. So I don't know. It's exciting to take
Epoch.
some perspective.
Hey, Epoch. Last time I lost 50% value in my ADA, we couldn't do anything. We literally couldn't do anything.
What do you mean?
What could you do back in 2018 with your ADA?
Literally nothing.
Yeah, literally, right? So that's what I'm just saying to your point, right? There's so much. Where we were then to where we are now is like night and day.
Yeah, DeFi is here. I keep saying like DeFi changed the game. Like before I only had Hopium. Now it's like, well, I have a Hopium plus some like rewards that come in by holding that asset. So like, I don't know. If I could hold it when I had no benefit, I can certainly hold it when I'm getting, 5% of my Cardano, 100% on my min, other percents. I don't know. It's just so much to do now.
I want to let crypto speak, but I also want to say, like, I use Ethereum DeFi like every day. And like literally this Sunday, I wanted to play some poker and use my savings account on Ethereum where I deposit Ethereum, I borrow against it, and then I send it to the poker website so that I'm forcing myself to put money in my savings to play poker and get entertainment. It cost me $137 to deposit $600 in Ethereum in my savings account. That is not how decentralized finance should work. And it is not usable for the average human being. So like for all of this to be here on Cardano and being built, I am so excited to be able to save just basic savings in the future where you can get a low conservative yield return and not pay literally 20% of what I'm trying to save just to deposit it in the bank. Like that's not finance. That doesn't beat a traditional Chase bank account.
Crypto King, go ahead.
Hello, fine folk. Good morning to all of you. I have noticed today that Terra Luna is about $2 something. Do you guys think it's going to drop more? Like, can I buy it at a cent or something? Like, I want to ride it back up and convert the profits into ADA. Can somebody give me some help? I don't follow that.
So I think you could probably, if you time it right, you might get a wick to 0. And I know that's really unfortunate, but I honestly don't think that this is something, unless you're gonna try and short it all the way down, I don't think it's something worth getting into. But maybe that's the wrong way to think about it.
Yo, Duquan is going to be doing work. I would say there's definitely opportunity here, but I definitely think that what happened to Luna is pretty damaging. So it's going to be a while.
Do Kwan's
Yeah.
going to be working. Do Kwan's going away because he just wrecked millions of people. What the fuck you're talking about?
Dude, I got $50 that just says that he literally just starts a new company and just abandons Luna, and it's going to be called
absolutely. That's
going to be like
absolutely
Duna
what's going to happen.
or Puna.
I would bet more than 50 on that, but I'm on the same side as you. So
He's just going to get rid of the whole thing and just be like, let's do V2 with a different name in a different jurisdiction, and let's do it again.
He's supposed to be one of the speakers for a conference called Permissionless down here in Florida in like a week, but there's no way he's going to
No
go
way. Dude, no way. I wouldn't.
Y'all talking about Trump?
The FUD.
You know, guys, my thinking on this is some people are going to have a lot of value still locked up in there and a building on it. So I don't think they're going to let it go. They're going to put the fight. Once a fight kicks in, it's going to go back up, sell it, convert it to ADA, and laugh as they fall miserably into a rug pool.
So what happened to Axis then?
Well,
Because Axis got
remember,
wrecked.
just remember, Epoch, there's a 21-day locking period on their staking. So these people who are stuck still have 19 days before they can sell.
Yeah, that's good to know. But I mean, I am curious about Axis because they had a hack, right? It was massive, and then I heard that like they were basically gonna put the money back. They were like, we're gonna go to investors and we're gonna like replace all the money that's been lost, and like everything will be chill. So like, whatever happened with that? Did they are people back? Are people fucked? Did it not do anything? Was it a lie?
They sold their soul to Binance and A16Z, and their token has crashed from holding $55 to I think it hit 18 today. DGen Spartan was posting the Wag Me dance that all of the Axie Infinity players did at NFT NYC. Oh, it's so beautiful every time I see it. And one of my friends is in it, so I love posting it in our Discord. Like, they won't lay off of you. But yeah, the bridge is not open. They say it's going to be open at the end of the month. Who knows? They lost a ton of money. They lost a ton of investor confidence. And it's interesting to see where these new game developers are moving to build. There's a new blockchain coming out specifically for gaming called Oasis, which has some very interesting investors. Like, it's got Sega Games, like the head of Sega Games is one of the main investors.
Oh, did you say Oasis? Isn't that what the platform was called from that book, movie book?
Yeah, that's right. Well, what the fuck was that called?
Hey, please look at the pinned tweet that I just put at the top. Yeah.
This sounds like alpha. This sounds like medical advice. Carry on, Rain.
No medical advice here. No medical advice. I just think there's a lot of competition you see with Solana. I know some games moving to Solana, which I definitely hate they're going there, but they're doing it because there's so much money getting spent there. And Polygon. And I think it might be true. Like, the chain that we all do our finances on and need maximum security for, like, you know, our life's assets and our net worth might be different, you know, security and speeds than the game that we like, the chain that we all play video games on. There might be a difference there, and I don't know which one's going to win. Like, again, not financial advice, and I'm just a guy in my basement. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, fair enough. I think it's cool, interesting to see A16Z getting involved. They are everywhere. They're really trying to be.
They're like the godfathers of the internet. They invested in like every bit of the internet that got built, so it's only right that they start investing in every bit of Web3 that gets built, I guess.
Yeah, they're doing so much, man. I think like every week I see A16Z doing something in this at that kind of level.
Do they have any success stories in any of this recent kind of shotgun approach to like Web3 or whatever, or has it all just been kind of a high risk bet at this point?
I mean, they've won. The way that they negotiate their deals, they definitely win. Have their deals been like profitable or great for the general public? I would have to do some research into a few.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good way to put it. I think they invest, and then the people they invest in see it almost as like a branding opportunity. It's like, oh, we got investment from these guys, and they've done all this great stuff. I'm not sure if they're necessarily picking long-term winners, though.
Yeah,
they're doing everything though. Like, just searching A16Z here from like posts, right? They're like funding an academic research lab for Web3. They joined Solana to build $1 billion crypto fund. They do a $25 million seed round for NFT infrastructure startup Co-Create. and I can just like keep scrolling.
They're in
Essentially,
everything, but they play the game
screws.
different than us because they have so much money that they can place all the bets everywhere.
And they get good prices too. That's what's crazy. Is like, so they're actually not getting wrecked at the top either. They're getting like pretty decent prices.
No, yeah, they're getting in at like seed rounds. Like I heard the other day, Yield Guild Games, their founding investors bought Yield Guild Game tokens, the YGG token, at 1 cent.
Dude, they're all...
Mark Cuban turned down buying into Yield Guild Games at 5 cents in the private sale. And let me just look at where Yield Guild Games is today, even through all the wreckage. Yield Guild Games is at 60 cents today. And it hit a top of like $11 at one point, $10. So if you were able to buy that at 1 cent or 5 cents or 2 cents, like some of these early investors get in, it's a whole nother game that they're playing. Like they're playing a totally different game than the rest of us. So like when I see those names on a pitch deck, it doesn't mean anything to me. Like when I see A16Z or what's the other Animoca brands that are just literally shotgunning everywhere, like it doesn't mean anything to me, but those people that are getting that investment, I agree with you, Epoch, like it means a lot for them to put that name on their cap table, and some investors bite off of that. They're like, oh, A16Z's here, this deal's got to be legit, and they don't even do their due diligence, and they cut the check.
Yeah, that sounds accurate. They should pay a research company to do token due diligence rather than just buying because A16Z is there. Just might be biased, but that's what I would do.
That whole not doing due diligence thing is not even just in crypto, right? I mean, a lot of VCs have been cutting so much checks with very little due diligence across the board. The money that's been swimming in VC funds for the last couple of years has been astounding. Even companies that will like fail and like come back and then we get VC fund again. Remember WeWork, those clowns. Anyways, so this
So this is a great time to share out this space. We're about to start the rare finance portion. So I want to see 50 tweets go out here in the next minute and a half, which would be impressive. I don't even know if there's 50 people in the space, but please take a moment.
There's 60 there, Mr. Host Man.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
What do you think we've been doing for 15 minutes? I'm just kidding.
Christ.
Make a YouTube video on how to tweet it out.
Wait, how do you pin a tweet?
Hero, do you have an answer?
It's going to be a long day.
No, I don't, actually. I don't know.
There's a box with an arrow coming out of it. Man, I wish we would have.
That was rhetorical. Oh my God.
Well, I don't know if you remember the early Cardano Over Coffee days, but Hero has answered this question, I think, 100+ times, and he got to the
100. 100. Fuck.
1,000.
It made Weifu's keyboard.
Yeah, there was a fucking soundbite of it for the longest time.
Dude, I remember the days of literally just like Epoch, Hero, myself, possibly Nick popping in when this thing first opened.
I was around.
Chris was there. Chris was definitely there.
Yeah, we're 9 months coming up on the 18th. So 9 months on the 18th. Holy shit. Anyhow.
Oh my God. 9 months is so long. Hey, you had a baby. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Hey, can we celebrate the birthday at the Rare Bloom event? I think we should host a Cardano Over Coffee birthday party.
We got some special things for Cardano Over Coffee, I think, in the works. But yeah, we'll leave that for a little later fun to drop on everybody.
Yeah, I think there's a meeting to discuss some things here real soon. Can we talk rare finance? Maybe I don't know who wants to kind of give us.
Yeah, we can hop in.
I'm sorry we have such rude speakers who are just talking over the guests and the hosts. We're trying to start the show right now, Hero, and we are going to be starting the guest segment. So please hold your questions until the hosts have asked. Yeah,
see, so I don't really care about your mute button because when you unmute me, I'll just keep talking. that's just the way that I roll. So can you introduce like everybody from the team that's here, please?
Sure. So kicking off, rare finance is a pretty new topic. I think this is the first time we're actually getting into the depths here. Rand, if I can call you the leader, he's been getting different talent into his project, and I think there's a lot of people in the speakers right now who are on the team. So Rand, why don't you kick us off? With what we're doing here, why are we talking rare finance, and how'd you kind of get to the point at which you really wanted to create this?
Just before Rand go, leader and chief tease officer. Carry on.
I love it, Lido. This thing started January of 2021. Myself, actually even earlier than that, I would probably go back to like October, September of 2020. Myself and Wes, who's on the Rare Bloom account there, he introduced me to Cardano, and I fell in love with everything I learned about Charles, and I said we had to start a stake pool. And we started a stake pool in January of last year. We're up to 300 blocks. We've learned a lot along the way, and we were trying to find identity for ourselves in the Cardano ecosystem and wanted to be builders. And along that route, our pool broke for a few months, and we were like, we're going to the Bitcoin conference in Miami of 2021, and we're going to find some like-minded people and go to the Cardano event there and figure out how to fix this thing and make some friends. And we went to that Cardano event and met like Pei from Bloom Pool and others, as well as going to the Bitcoin conference where we met Nick and Epoch Pool. We literally were fighting over the same sitting area at the Bitcoin convention and sat down and had a you Cardano, I Cardano, whoa, let's talk moment. And they helped us fix our pool. Nick and Epoch Pool here. Alonzo helped us fix our pool, and it's been running ever since flawlessly. And we tried to find identity with ourselves after that event, is where we came up with the Rare Bloom idea. And I have a background in not only finance, but live events production. So we partnered with Bloom Pool to do a live event for the Cardano ecosystem. And along that way, we were waiting quietly for decentralized finance to kick off, and found ourselves building this brand, Rare Finance. And to do that, we also reached out to the wonderful folks of ADAO and Riley and TCT and Tommy and Cristobal, and anybody I may be missing that has helped us build this thing, to help us get the proper multi-sig treasury going and make sure our smart contracts are correct and built properly. The first time I heard TCT and Riley speak was probably in a Cardano Over Coffee here, and I just remember immediately messaging both of them like, let's talk. I think I have an interesting project and I have good ideas, but I'm not the guy to execute and build it. And I could definitely tell that they were the people that were passionate enough to do that. And the partnership there between Epoch Pool and ADAO and Rare Pool then came to become Rare Finance. And if there's anything I missed there, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Can you do me a favor, since all those guys are on your team and Hero Pool's been left out to dry again, remember to tip me. I'm just joking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we will get to how that can happen here in a little bit. And so like what Rare Finance is we aim to be the most decentralized yield aggregation protocol in the Cardano blockchain. Basically a decentralized index fund for the Cardano ecosystem. And with the combination of a DAO consisting of our core contributing and delegating members and a federated stake pool partner network and various yield strategies, the platform is going to allow users to provide liquidity, mint our Rare token, and partake in governance and passively earn yield off of the Cardano ecosystem, is basically what we're building here.
What makes you different from...
I love that. What makes us different is we've actually gone and put out different tokenomics. We're not copy pasta from most of the other projects you see that get copied over. And we have different tokenomics that we believe are actually sustainable and how we can provide value to the ecosystem and retain value for the treasury and our token holders. We don't have a max supply on our token, and our token is actually soft pegged to the size of our treasury. And there's only two ways that we can mint tokens. And pardon me for a moment, let me pin this to the top here. I've pinned to the top now our tokenomics and the breakdown sheet there, and we can go over how rare tokens are made if we'd like. And the difference here is the way our rare tokens are made is they're minted from actual actions happening in our treasury growth. We're not just printing tokens and giving them out for inflation as rewards to stakers. What happens is a user or yourself, anybody out there, you can come to our protocol, you can delegate to Rare Pool, and the fees earned off of Rare Pool, that ADA earned, will go into our treasury and mint rare tokens. Those rare tokens then get distributed back to our delegators of the pool. The second way rare tokens can be minted is in the future, users will be able to come directly to our protocol and deposit assets, whether that be ADA, stable tokens, LP tokens, or other governance tokens or investable tokens that the DAO seems fit and wants to purchase, and we will accept those directly via a bond and give you back rare tokens. Once the treasury has a balance of whether that be ADA or stable tokens, they will then be put into various yield strategies. And those yield strategies are, waterfall. We're going to waterfall from conservative to medium risk to high risk. Starting in the conservative bucket, where we'll have the largest portion, will be just ADA delegated to pools. Some of that ADA might be through the DAO delegated to different ISPOs. Some of that might be delegated just to the rare pool. Some of it might get delegated to other federated pools that we work with to just mint blocks and grow the treasury in a conservative manner. Some of the other conservative yield strategies that we want to look at is stable tokens when they come out, and yield farming tradable stable tokens like DGED and USDC when they come out without any impermanent loss. That's another conservative way to farm yield, as well as not have the volatility of assets like ADA on the balance sheet and be able to kind of hold treasury balance. Is all this making sense? Should I go back?
I'm good, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going to have questions. A lot of information, right? What you're doing is very complex, so not something easy.
Yeah, and what I'll do,
I can explain that part of that very simply, right? Most of these passive income tokens or all these reward tokens you get, they don't have anything behind them, right? It's just like inflation. It's just minting tokens, which anybody can do. So what is different about Rare is there's actually something backing these tokens. They're not just arbitrarily minted for no reason.
Awesome. Yeah. I think that's important, right? That there isn't, as I call it, Ponzi-nomics, right?
Yeah, I think one of the things too is that this happened all very organically. I mean, like Rand was saying, Wes and Rand were out in Bitcoin conference last year trying to figure it out, and I ran into them and met them, had dinner with Jeff Swag and them, and talked. And then eventually, as the ADA formed itself in October and things were going, I spent as much time humanly possible trying to get these kids to work together, because it just seemed like the interest in financial freedom was there and not willing to pull the trigger on the first idea. I mean, it's like, you want to do it right? So we're not going to get 6 shots at this. So I think the concerted effort there is kind of the difference.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things I could say here, and I guess I just want to take a moment to kind of call out, I think, what Rand has been able to kind of do here in terms of actually trying to get a quality idea out the gate. I think building on what you were
100%.
saying, it wasn't the first idea that has come up, right? We've been working together, on and off, and having various like soundboarding sessions. And I remember one night just hopping on Discord with Rand, and it was supposed to be like a 15-minute quick chat, and like it was not that. And I remember my wife staring dagger eyes at me, and I was just like, "This is important," because like it's the first idea. As I'm pulling out my shotgun and I'm shooting at it, and I'm, it's still there, it's still holding up. And I remember texting Nick. I was like, "Is this thing legit?" I was like, "I think we might have something," and that's really, we started kind of upping our involvement and really kind of getting more interested in what is going on in the Rare Finance Discord. And yeah, it's fun to be with a group that actually has perspective on other, you know, ecosystems, and also has an idea for fintech and kind of what, you know, passes the bar for what somebody's willing to invest in, right? It's not just like vaporware tokens and someone's like, oh wow, that's great. It's like there's actually some thought being put into the utility. So I just wanted to kind of give you a compliment.
Just so everybody
there,
knows, he's part of the team. He's part of the team, right?
Me? No.
Yeah. So he's gonna blow smoke, right? So I'm gonna be a little bit more harsh. Sorry.
Wait, yeah, but he did, like, when we were having meetings and they weren't like sure, and then they saw what we were doing, they were like, oh shit, and then so he's not lying. But.
Who on your team? Who on your team is the fintech specialist, right? So who's the
me? No, just kidding.
I mean, I think both Rand and myself and Nick and others have a lot of fintech experience. I mean, him more of a trader, me more of a developer. But I'd say half the team has been in fintech. Rand, I don't know if you have a better stat there, but
yeah, I mean, I've been a licensed mortgage broker, a licensed real estate, a trader of stocks and equities, and you know, for the past decent few years, I played around in decentralized finance and even had a job working for a decentralized bank on the Ethereum network called Alchemix. And that's kind of where a lot of these ideas kind of stem from, is playing around over there, seeing that ecosystem develop, and trying to really understand what the issues were with all of the tokenomics and DeFi over there, how that can be sustainable, and what the reality is, what we're looking at, like what is investable and what isn't on the blockchain, and what is usable to the core human person, what has product market fit for the everyday user that can then drive value back to a token, I think is very important to provide.
oh my God, I forgot about the Alchemix saga. I've forgotten whole chapters. But yeah, I think Cardano is the perfect spot for what we're trying to build at the end of the day, because, you know, we also approach this problem from a really high level of what blockchain, you know, kind of can benefit from this advancement. And we looked at Alchemix, right? We looked at Ethereum, we looked at a bunch of places, but Cardano, you know, made the most sense.
So
I did pin the Discord to the top of this.
Sounds like there's a little bit of fintech experience from everybody on the team, which is a good thing because it helps.
So sorry, I was trying to approve someone.
Yeah, she was trying to mute me. I feel attacked, cookthyme. I feel attacked.
It's so much worse.
It's a 50 cents. I'm salty.
No,
Get him,
my next question is, as a small pool, I have a couple of questions, right? So obviously this ADA is going to go into your treasury. What's going to happen to it? Are people going to be able to stake it from their wallets to pools, or are you going to have control of it? Are you planning on, when you reach saturation, opening multiple pools? Are you planning on working with small pools? What are we going in that route?
These are such great questions. We would like to hopefully hit saturation on the rare pool. And then from there, we look at it as working with other pools that would like to come a part of the network. And any amount of DAO treasury or whatever they do on their end to decide how much of their fees. And this is all to be decided via governance. That's the greatest thing about what we're building here. We have an actual governance token, and that will be distributed and voting. And maybe we can get into the tokenomics of our 3 tokens after this. But we see it as a way to partner not only with, they can change some of their fees for rare tokens, but maybe we can also elect as a group in a DAO that some of our treasury goes to delegate to other pools to help them mint blocks and decentralize the network. And I look at that as one of the conservative ways that we can generate yield for our treasury. Our treasury still is in control of their ADA. It's in the wallet. It's just delegated to a pool. And it's able to earn a very conservative yield at that point. And that's where it kind of gets to the exciting part of really building a DAO and having governance votes. And some of that goes back to what we've seen, the governance fights and DeFi over on Ethereum, and kind of building building something that's truly decentralized, and the people that own it actually have a say in what's done with that treasury.
Yeah, I would just think that I would hope that the team would look at a plan prior, because we know that, you know, voting governance isn't the easiest thing to install, and
Yes.
it's truthfully not up and running, right? So
yes,
and I know you guys are away from dropping and that ship may be ready. I would just, you know, say have a plan going into it would be, you know, my thought process, right? And TCT, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna kind of, before you ask that question, touch on the stake pool aspect, because it's something that we don't see with other protocols, and so I think it's kind of hard to get the mental model for what is actually going to happen with this stake pool at the center of this protocol.
Should I pin that photo maybe? I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, I would pin anything you have, because it's
I'll go dig for it.
To kind of you know, when we think of stake pools, we think of one person, right, having control over those keys and that stake pool. But I think that's kind of the power and like what we can leverage from collaborating with ADAO and some other people actually working on this very thing, right, to truly decentralize a stake pool, and then build out this network of stake pools, instead of having one central authority running, you know, multiple pools. I think that's what excites me most about this protocol, and I think what is completely different than anything else I've seen.
Outstanding. Epoch, are you building this? I should probably be scared if that's the case.
Oh God, no. Rand has me in a much cushier business administration type
Thank
role.
God.
Nick
Smart play,
is
Rand. Smart play.
Yeah, Nick is actually responsible for more of the development, which is, I think, that's been the right-footed approach since the beginning of Epoch Pool's birth. So we're
Nick's a wizard in my book. He's one of them wizard guys. I don't even know if he truly exists.
We can't forget Riley too. Between Nick and Riley, that is dev team Delta.
Yeah,
sure.
I was just gonna say Epoch, and I think right, a lot of this stuff is built out, but one person can't do it, right? We do have people like Riley and others, right, that are working on these smart contracts. Most of them are already open source, especially all the governance ones, right? And then we do have these, you know, multiple people actually who that's what they specialize in, is stake pools. So yeah, being able to bring these, you know, different expert groups together, I think is what I've noticed like the most. It's just been really powerful the way that you know, they're so focused and specialized on these different aspects, and now bringing that together, it is really cool. And I've been learning quite a bit, and that's what I'm most excited about, is the way that this stake pool can actually run a protocol and in a decentralized way, instead of, you know, somebody running a centralized server or a centralized pool, and just amassing more pools.
Yeah.
That's, you know, centralized authority.
I just pinned it.
And it's also amazing that we have this opportunity here on Cardano to build a treasury. Like, on top of all of that, we can come together, delegate safely to a pool. Staking is a thing on Cardano. It's actively here. Your money's not locked up forever. You can receive like a reasonable yield. And we can build this thing in a treasury together in a safe manner. And I think that's so important. That's like a step that's missing for any Ethereum or any other chain's DeFi. Like, they really don't have any good ways to safely build treasury up in a decentralized manner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the locking period is an advantage that Cardano can really take advantage of in situations like this. I have two questions. Well, I have a question. Actually, I forgot the question. Can we talk tokenomics? Can we break that down a little bit?
We can. I love tokenomics. So we have 3 tokens, and this might get a little confusing, but I'm going to try and keep it as clean as possible reading off our definition sheet. The main token is the rare token. Rare tokens are generated through 3 mechanics: block production from the rare stake pool, bonding in native assets into the treasury when a user or yourself comes and says, hey, I would like to give my ADA for rare tokens, and uses a bond to put those assets into our treasury, And the Rare Finance's treasury harvest yield or growth from its strategies, and those are recorded in the treasury, and Rare tokens are minted against it. Those are the only 3 ways that Rare tokens can be minted. And it all ties to treasury growth and the assets coming into the treasury. And it is soft pegged to the treasury. The next token is the vRARE token. It represents the value associated to the treasury reserves and the growth through multiple yield strategies. vRARE is staked rare token that receives automated compounding rewards from the treasury. So what you will do is you will take the rare tokens you have, you will go to our smart contract in DApp, and you will stake them in the smart contract to act as your rights to the treasury growth. When you do that, you'll receive back vRARE, which is basically the easiest way I can describe it to a lot of people that have been playing around in DeFi now is like your LP token. vRARE represents your portion of that staking contract. Does that make sense before I go any further?
I'm good. Anybody?
Well, they get taxed every time that compounds.
Yes, it's compounding in the staking contract. So when you go to exchange your vRARE back for rare tokens, you'll receive back more rare tokens than you put in, because some of the profits from the treasury will be turned into rare tokens and sent to that smart contract. And holders of that LP token are, will be receiving some of those rewards. And the taxable event is only when you unstake your vRARE token. So everything is compounding in the treasury for you, untaxed. And the only taxable event is when you go to sell your rare tokens and cash out your vRARE tokens.
So I got a real quick question. People like Liquid Finance have stated that when you're doing something like this and putting your ADA into a smart contract, that they will still be paying out, that you're not still be able to have that ADA staked in your own pool or whatever, right? And still earn the 5% rewards. Is that something that you guys are thinking about or looking into? I know it's not something that's available now, but we're talking future.
You'll be staking rare token in this case, not ADA.
Yeah, but I can add that it is available now. ADA's Plutus contract on chain is staked to a stake pool. So that's something we can do. It's just something I don't think a lot of groups have looked into or have, decided they're doing yet. Or like I said, just really looked into it. But when ADA is staked to a contract, we can stake it to a stake pool.
And I also think it should be noted that we're going to use something along the lines of Conclave, I think, to manage a number of stake pools, or basically combine a number of stake pools that are managed by different small pool operators into this list of pools on our list that we support, right? Because as the name of the protocol would imply, Rare Finance is going to be started and sort of bootstrapped by Rare Pool. And eventually saturation will be reached. And we've talked about that. We don't want to have a bunch of rare pools. That's not the way that we'd like to take this. Obviously, we want to be remaining decentralized. And I think that the best way to do that, and sort of the team has come to the consensus, the best way to do that is to use something along the lines of Conclave in the long term.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. And I will remind you that this space is recorded. And if that plan deviates, I will scream at you all.
It won't. Because that's the plan, Hero.
I love you,
There will
Hero.
be no screaming, sir. Cool it. Damn.
Yeah, let's have a professional voice, Hero, please.
So I want to know. No, I don't. Rand, continue with the tokenomics. Sorry.
I was going to say, we do have one more token to get to. So in addition to when you stake your rare token and you receive vRARE token, I look as that vRARE token as your rights to the treasury and your investable rights. You're also going to receive back another token, the gRARE token. And the gRARE token that's our governance and our voting rights, which can be used to determine the allocation of the treasury funds. And one gRARE will equal one vote in governance. Now, governance is down the road. These things need to be built. I want to caution everybody that this isn't like a tomorrow or a next month thing. But that's where we're going with it. And the gRARE token will be increased to you the longer you stake rare tokens. So the incentive to stake rare for longer, you'll have more voting rights over where the treasury goes. And I think this gets really interesting because we have now tokenized governance separate from your investment. And you're able to then, if you see a governance vote that you might not necessarily care to vote for, you're indifferent which way it goes, you can now sell your governance vote to somebody who might have more interest in a say at the time, and receive yourself a premium, a higher yield than you would just investing on your own. And I think that's where things get a little interesting, and we can get into governance and DAO wars and stuff like that later.
I've said this once, and I'll say it again. Do not sell your gRARE. Come to me, and I will purchase it. I am doing my best to gobble all of that up and give Riley a hard time about whale economics.
Come to me, and I will purchase it and balance Epoch out.
And to that note, like, very scary things have happened with governance on chain and stuff in the past, and we do plan to roll this out slowly over time with guardrails from the core team, and making sure that we have, we are talking to the community. Please join that Discord. This is the first time we've shared the public Discord link. I'm sure Chris down there is freaking out because we were like, just share it, let the public in the door.
No, I had a convo the other day with homeboy. We're good. I've been good for 2 days.
Good. So we want people to come in. We want to answer more questions. It's so hard to discuss all of this in 1 hour. And we do want community, to start discussing these options of where to get yield, where they would like to see this yield come from. And so that we can put these things to a governance vote and really get useful. And we don't want to overhype terms. Like, a lot of things get overset in this space with yield aggregators on, artificial intelligence and, automated yield aggregation and all that stuff. Like, that stuff is years and years down the line. Fund managers these days do things manually, and they have set plans in place. And things do get automated. Absolutely, we will have automated, like, yield harvesting and minting of rare tokens and all that stuff. But when you start just throwing around a lot of the buzzwords, like, we're just getting down to the simple basics of how the tokenomic works, how somebody can invest in this and see a clear path to yield, and then looking at the true, what are the yield generating mechanisms on Cardano that we have today, using a stake pool, stable tokens coming, liquid finance. I'm super bullish on liquid finance and providing liquidity there for borrowers and things like that. And then we can start looking further down the risk curve, holding governance tokens from DEXs, providing liquidity on DEXs between different pairs and things like that, and so on and so forth, going down the risk curve. But I think it's very important to deep dive into the meat of these things and not hide behind buzzwords.
So, quick question. Does rare finance solve impermanent loss?
Rare finance does not solve impermanent loss, and that is something that needs to be taken into account when we discuss what strategies we want to go down. And there will be strategies that might have no or little impermanent loss, like stable token to stable token providing liquidity. There should be very little to no impermanent loss there. Providing liquidity to a lending platform like liquid finance, there should be obviously no impermanent loss there. That might not necessarily be obvious to everybody, but you're not pairing two assets there to be traded. So there's no impermanent loss,
Well, what if one of those stable coins was Luna or UST?
Yes, and that's where we will have guarded governance at first, and a panel of experts, and maybe we should elect community leaders as well in between there. Because yes, if you were pairing Luna and you fell into the Luna UST or like UST to some other stable token yield farm, and you didn't see the classic Ponzi that it was, you got wrecked. And I think proper bet sizing and positioning and portfolio size management is very key and important for a treasury of any size. And I think that's also one of the advantages of using rare finances. Having a larger treasury allows us as a group to place bets in a lot of places. And I myself personally can't get the coverage I want everywhere because I just don't have a large enough portfolio to place all the bets everywhere. So I think that can also be a unique benefit to having a DAO like this and having exposure all over just in one place, like an index fund.
Listen, my question really has nothing to do with rare finance. It has to do with your Discord. When I verified, did I just get taken to an ad? Are you shitting me?
I have no idea.
That's one of the yields that we aggregate.
Just not an ad.
The
DM?
Okay.
Is it? We'll have to shut that down then.
Send
Fucking
a
ad.
screenshot.
Like, no, I closed it. It took me to some ad for some stupid shit.
Well, I do know the verification bot. I mean, anyway. Let me know if that happened again.
Like, how stupid was the shit?
Yeah, was it a good ad?
Yeah, I want to know how stupid it was.
Yeah, I've never seen a Discord ad. I want to know about it.
Yeah, please.
Is it some sort of pills? Some sort of discount fire hoses?
I'm telling you, whatever. You can joke around all you want, but your fucking shit took me to an ad. Like, I'm being serious.
No,
we're not joking. We're asking you to send a photo.
No. Definitely agree. All bots should just get turned off.
Not you guys, because he's being an ass. I closed it. I didn't look at it. I clicked verify.
Now I kind of want to see an ad.
Go.
I haven't seen an ad in so long.
Because I closed it. So.
All right, Lido, can you be the QA here? Can you try to join the Discord and let us know if you see an ad?
Ads don't work in my house, so I wouldn't see it.
So are you going to
Well,
knock QA?
hopefully not. And if so, we will definitely get it fixed immediately.
I will try it next time I leave the house. I really want to see this ad.
How do you have no ads in your house? I need to figure that out.
I know. I'm actually puzzled.
Could somebody post the Discord link?
It's up there.
I love
you can set up stuff on your router to basically block requests to certain ad providers so that anyone.
I use a Raspberry Pi in a little software. DM me if you're interested. How is the people don't have questions for rare finance? Do you guys not realize? Are you all still nervous about the price? Like, this is amazing. I don't even know how long they managed to keep it under the wraps. I'm impressed.
That's been my biggest value add was saying let's wait to share the info. But it's been getting so good, lately with the addition of the kind of graphics that we've been putting out. The art is phenomenal. So Tommy, is that you who's holding down the graphics?
No. Well, that'd be Ben. Ben has been doing a great job on the back end, but no, he's not here with us right now.
Oh yeah, he's Europe time. But yeah, I mean, once we started seeing all the artwork come together and the explainers, we got a lot of confidence, and it's great that we can kind of share a lot of this now. Rand, is there anything else you wanted to share before we maybe just kind of ask for more questions?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's just been a long time coming. It's been fun and almost a relief to kind of explain what we're building here. It's when you're building something like really good, it takes time and it's hard, and you watch a lot of people pop up with a lot of copy pasta stuff that isn't really that innovative, and they're able to move that much quicker. So it feels good to finally be publicly discussing what we're doing, and hopefully everybody does find it innovative and a little bit different from what they've been pitched over and over again.
So we have a question down there, but I want to ask you, the whole team, kind of a question, right? Because yins have all worked on other blockchains or been a part of other blockchains. And I know it's kind of preaching to the crowd because it's a Cardano crowd, right? But what have you found is what's the reason why Cardano, right? What have you found that makes it different than the other blockchains? And then what have you found most challenging with Cardano? And what do we need to improve?
I guess for me, I think the stake pools are a pretty unique thing. We have a different kind of delegated proof of stake model. It's different than some of the other chains, and it creates a lot of long term kind of incentive with the pool. So I think that's one thing that is definitely interesting and unique. I think the other part of it is there's different kind of funding models on the different chains. And I think we were kind of most confident in our ability to execute on kind of the funding within the Cardano environment, rather than, trying to go into get a Solana grant or, get a bunch of upfront money to play ball in Ethereum. And, ultimately we knew a lot of experts that could take the different parts and execute on them, right? So, yeah, that's my answer. I wonder what everyone else can chime in and maybe, I don't know, TCT, Riley, Tommy, feel free to answer as well.
Yeah, I'll jump in. I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is the type of the community, the builders in the community, and how decentralization and these type of things really matter to at the core of a lot of these builders and educators. And I think Cardano Over Coffee and this crew of individuals and what you guys are doing is a perfect example of that, of providing reputable knowledge to this kind of decentralized world. And it's incredibly difficult, or it's incredibly important for reputation in this kind of environment. And you as a crew are providing incredible knowledge and helping empower individuals with this knowledge. So that's, for me, that's been the biggest thing that I've noticed, because when I jumped into this kind of blockchain world and kind of learning the application of the Cardano blockchain, not only as a financial operating system, but really realizing that with the stake pool model, you are now having this social operating system that kind of gets attached to it. And, kind of the different kind of game theory that kind of evolves with that. And with the power that kind of comes with the collaborative nature, if we can figure this out as a group. And so, yeah, that's why we also wanted to kind of go down that DAO structure, to be able to kind of bridge the gap from this kind of Web2 traditional business model type world to this more Web3 user-owned digital native networks, where people own part of that network and have a say into the direction of the network and that type of stuff. So a lot of the stuff in terms of governance, still needs to be built out. But certainly these are things that we're thinking about in terms of clear structures of onboarding, proposal creation, those type of things, but also different things like education towards training programs. So I know hero education is incredibly important to you, and it is to all of us. And one of the things is not only education on the DeFi aspect, but down the road, creating programs for education on like well-being in terms of mental health, different things that help the individuals of the DAO. So whether that be learning about conflict resolution, restorative practices, different things that I think are crucial for membership to thrive in the long run. So yeah, those are kind of some of the things that I find are quite unique in this environment and what we're trying to bring.
Sorry, I'm trying to send Rand a screenshot. I think
You're all
somebody
good.
up though.
You're all good. I'm already in the general chat. Like, let's get rid of the bots. Like, there's nothing to take over. It's early. Like, let the people in, and we'll figure the bots out over time.
Oh yeah, there is a runaway bot, I believe. Because yeah, something's not right. Like when you I left and joined, and it's just really weird. It's got to be that protection bot that like.
It's called. Hold on. The name that popped up. Hold on. I took a screenshot of it. Something double counter. Number one verification bot is where it came from.
Yeah. We that bot's got to go.
Yeah, I actually
Have you guys ever seen Terminator?
No, yeah, but like jokes aside, verification bots are the fucking worst.
Very true.
Eventually, they will be useful and necessary, but I do think at this time, we can let it ride on the public Discord.
Yeah,
Well,
I went up. Crypto Quokka had his hand up down there for like 12 epochs.
Hello? Oh, okay. One thing that Cardano has that others don't is Age USD protocol, baby. And, UST is kind of ass. And, Age USD is pretty solid. You know what else has Age USD? Ergo. Ergo's got SIG USD. It's been
Hey,
holding up pretty well.
hey, Quokka, you could come show Ergo anytime, but we have guests in kind of a format. So if you have a question for Rare Finance and what they're doing, by all means, go ahead and ask. Otherwise, reach out to our scheduler and you can come show anything you want.
That's all I got. Thank you.
And by the way, I mine Ergo, so shout out to Ergo.
And hop in the Discord and, tell us that some of our treasury should go that way. We'll see if the community votes it. Back to the question, though, I guess, like, why for ADA for me as an individual is I think we're in a unique opportunity here. Like, I saw the slow build. I see all the smart minds building here, and it's been kind of my personal bet already. And going down the stake pool route, I think it's important to be a builder because it clears that fog of war that you have as an investor. And when you build in an ecosystem and you meet the other smart minds that are here to build, you get vision and clarity over the long term. And I think that's what I see here is just a vision to build on Cardano and build with this community, and that this thing is being built correctly over the other choices. And I feel like there's a long-term sustainable way to grow here. And that goes back to, like, I can't even use Ethereum. Like, imagine trying to cast a Rare Finance vote on Ethereum and it cost you $100 or $45 even just to vote. Like, that's not even usable to be built over there. So, finding that sustainable and long-term growth and people that have a plan and have been executing over the 18 months I've been here is amazing. And that's kind of what we all resonated around and came together as a team.
Yeah. And it was kind of a two-part question. What has been the hardest or the challenge for the whole, like, the team, right, of building on Cardano? Is it just kind of the waiting for tooling? Or?
Yeah, waiting.
Yeah, and I think that it's kind of cool because some of our team has even helped contribute to the tools that we were waiting for, right? And I think that we definitely have a strong team, but I think that being early is both a blessing and a curse. I think that the blessing of it is that as we start to have these tools become readily available, the intimate knowledge of those tools is going to allow for our team to do things that a lot of other groups may not be able to do, especially if it's just a new group that comes into Cardano because of the other benefits that we might have already discussed.
Yeah, and the team using ADAO. Look at that, TCT. I said it right. Do I get some tokens for that? I think that's a good partnership, right? And the fact that R and TCT, I know pretty much everybody on the team, so I'm probably biased. So I'm not gonna say too much. Pyro.
Okay, I have a fun, I guess a fun question, but might not be fun. Who knows? But what do you guys foresee as a black horse, Trojan horse problem of the DeFi world right now that hasn't been foreseen? If you guys were to speculate something of that magnitude.
Lots of shit coins.
If I had to speculate, it would be the downfall of Tether and the ripple effects it would have on the system.
Yeah, I think, sorry, just to build on that for a second, the impact of what happened over the past couple days has been pretty tragic. Now imagine if that was Tether.
Yeah, I think Over leverage in the system is the biggest systemic risk, and like mass liquidations happening.
I remember Tether losing its peg in the past. Maybe not to this significance, but it has happened in the past.
Well, I think I mean it goes into like how they maintain their peg, right? I think what we saw with kind of Terra was a more elaborate approach to maintaining the peg, and I don't know, like I kind of feel that they made a mistake actually moving that Bitcoin. Like the whole like the fucking guard or whatever, the LFG, like I think that was a mistake. They should have rode out the drama for a little bit longer rather than cause more chaos by adding a bunch of Bitcoin to like basically clog up everything and add a bunch of chaos. So I don't know. I think they fucked up.
They were forced into it. This was like a calculated attack. I can't find the tweet right now.
It's by Charles explains who did it and how they did it. There was a tweet back in November that explained this exact attack happening on Luna. And Do Kwon said, "You're a fucking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. You're stupid. You're poor. You're broke." And when you have a leader who does that, this is what happens.
Kind of like when Charles said something about penises and blah, blah, blah. So we'll see what happens to Cardano in 5 years.
I disagree. I don't see Charles out there calling fucking people poor, Lido. Two different worlds.
He does kind of, create a little bit of flames though on the internet.
Yeah, but I think it's definitely like I think it's a little bit different, and I think that calling someone a walking condom commercial or telling them that it wouldn't make a difference if Cardano gave you a 10-inch dick. Like I think that those things are definitely, like Hero said, not kind of at the same level as making fun of poverty and also just assuming that random people on Twitter are poor and using that as a way to like say, I'm better than you and I know what I'm doing because I obviously have more money than you. I run Terra Luna, this huge Ponzi scheme.
100% agree.
So let's get into more about. Go ahead, Nick.
I was just going to say, in the past, I've been pretty embarrassed by Charles and the things he'd said. I got to say, though, I wonder if some PR people got to him because I feel like he's been much more toned down in like the last 3 months or something like that. So I don't know if anyone else has noticed that, but I just see him getting into a lot less random fights with folks. They still come up sometimes, but I feel like the PR people finally got to him.
I said the same thing, and then someone brought up the 10-inch dick comment.
I totally agree with the 10-inch dick comment and the winding down of Charles, and like it totally threw me off too. It was like, oh whoa, but I think he also said something else that I can't remember. But yeah, no, he gets a little bit feisty, and for good reason too. A lot of people just bash on Cardano for improper reasons. So.
I just want to clarify. You guys are getting it wrong. I think it was 11 inches. 11 inches.
Thanks, Big Joe, for the fact check.
So what's this rare finance thing?
Yeah, when rare finance? When?
Today, you delegate to rare pool, RARE. The fees are getting increased to 100%. We want to be very clear about that. All the ADA will be going directly into the Treasury and the multi-sig wallet we have. And we will be giving out P-Rare tokens. These are pre-rare tokens. There will only be 100 million P-Rare tokens in existence, and they will have to be bonded for rare tokens 1-for-1 in the future. They're vested. You're going to have to vest them for rare tokens. This is an investment in your future. I'm sure some degenerate will create a liquidity pool for them on a DEX, but it will not be us. And you can go ahead.
You guys all together, right? But I have a feeling it's going to be Rand.
No, it's not going to be me or our team. I swear to God.
I just know your degen level. That's all.
I just know there is, knowing the degen in me, I know there will be a degen that wants to sell them and or provide liquidity and try and gain trading fees of pRARE tokens or something like that and go crazy. And I'm sure a liquidity pool will pop up somewhere at some point. That's decentralized.
Set up the mixer and send it to your son, and then he can be a degen for you.
So I have two questions off of that. The first one is, you have one pool right now and you're doing this 100% and you get the pRARE. What's the plan if you get to saturation in the next 2 weeks? When word gets out that this is going down and people want to earn this decentralized token?
That would be absolutely amazing. And yourself and others that are close with us in the community that we already work with, we will obviously reach out and try and spin something up immediately to alleviate that pressure, as well as then open up communication with the rest of the community and how we spin up our, confederated pool system that we need to do. And some of that might be us relieving pressure from the our own ADA in the pool or where our delegation is going. There's all different levers we can pull there, and we would be absolutely excited to have those issues come up.
Well, I know I'm gonna have to go. Like, I'm a degen, and I just bought some ADA, so I need somewhere to stake it. So I guess I got to create another wallet now.
I love it, Hero. I appreciate it. We appreciate everybody that is already delegated from the very few times we brought it up. It's been amazing to watch, and we're excited to be building this, like leading all the way into the events this fall, CNFT Con and Rare Bloom specifically. We'll have a booth there. Of course, the rare part of Rare Bloom is there, and we're excited to just like really party with the community and have a good time and show off hopefully the things we've built leading up to that.
Yeah, and people, if you're interested in going to the Rare Bloom event and meeting Rare Finance or any of the other amazing guests like Epoch Pool and Lido, and I heard TCT might be there, there's a coupon code that you can use today at the rarebloom.io. It's COC10. It'll get you 10% off of your tickets. Right? So it's COC10. Cardano Over Coffee, COC10 for 10% off. Go check it out. I hope to see you there. Continue. Sorry. I had to plug some shit real quick.
Mm-hmm.
No, I love it. I'm so excited. I mean, that's like one of the things that's always inspired me to like get into all the business I've gotten into, is going to live events and conventions and things I'm interested in, and meeting people like Epoch Pool and Nick and everybody I've met traveling around. And I think that's what inspired us to build the Rare Bloom event for this community specifically, is to do exactly that. Like, just make sure that we all get together every year and, shake hands and have a party and, laugh and cry over failures and successes that we've had over the past year and what's getting built.
And if this whole crypto thing don't work out, we could all go together and buy like a Taco Bell.
True.
No, I'm excited for Rare Finance. You guys, like, even though that me and Epoch talk pretty much almost every day, right? I didn't know anything about it. So shout out to Epoch for keeping his mouth shut. I'm mad at you.
Oh, that's not the only secret he's keeping from you.
Wow, just wow.
Nick, wow.
Go on. What do you mean by that?
Yeah,
what are you
let's
trying to
invite
say?
Nick to
Finish
the
your
show
sentence,
more
bro.
often.
Pictures or it didn't happen.
Man.
Please ignore my partner in crime. If we leave him too much credence, I may actually end up in jail.
Hate is flying.
I want to give a shout out to Chris and Illusion down there as a listener. Illusion, for fixing the Discord. The bots should already be fixed. There should be no ads. You're free to click the button and join.
Hell yeah. I want to give a shout out to Jail.
I want to make sure that nobody down in the crowd has any questions for Rare Finance, because we haven't had many people request. There's got to be some questions.
So I have a question, but I'm going to take off my team hat and put on my co-host hat. So Rand, are these securities, and when Bahamas?
I actually had a conversation with a very prominent lawyer yesterday who specializes in setting up Delaware C Corps and businesses in the BVI. And yes, these what look to be securities at this time. We're still kind of investigating what the proper way to set all this up is, like having a company, a C Corp in Delaware, a C Corp in Wyoming, having a British Virgin Islands company that holds all the token assets and creation. There's a lot of interesting things flying right now. But yes, I would say, just being cautious and not financial advice, these could definitely be clarified as securities in the future. And I kind of look forward to that clarity in the future myself. What I use in my personal thesis of why I'm happy to build this is you look at BlockFi and the case they just went through. They built a multi-billion-dollar business as a savings and loan, basically, for cryptocurrency, all completely unregulated and illegal while they did it. They got a slap on the wrist. They got a fine for all the taxes they didn't pay. And now they actually work with the regulators to define the regulations going forward. I look at that as a positive and a really good bargaining there. And then I look at what the president put out a few months ago in the statement saying that if you're a good actor, it's okay, keep building, talk with regulators, and we'll figure these things out. So I look at that as, as long as we're not here to rug pull people, we're trying to build interesting and new ways to actually do decentralized finance and give people access to growth. I look at that as a positive for us. And as long as we play by the current rules as best as possible and do the right things, I think we're okay to build and continue. And I think all the people that are bad actors out here creating shit coins and rug pull NFTs and rug pulling liquidity pools and stuff like that, I think they're going to get chased down well before anybody comes to us. And we're happy and open to opening those lines of discussion with the right people. The lawyer I spoke with yesterday was a federal prosecutor at one point and worked for the IRS. So we were and he is now a law professor at a university in Southern California. So we're trying to open those lines of communication the best we can and make sure we're putting the right foot forward and getting ahead of the ball. And we would rather be the ones that work with them to explain how these things are happening than be the ones that are hiding in the corner and doing shady things and stealing money.
And I love to hear that you're thinking of kind of different jurisdictions that assets can be held. I don't think the U.S. is the most friendly. So good to hear that you're kind of considering those other options. I guess, why not Wyoming?
Wyoming was actually a really good choice. The lawyer said they're setting up a lot of like the DAO structure there, and there's no state taxes, so that's very interesting. The Delaware C Corp comes in for like, just being like a regular corporation and more traditional tax like path. And then, there's the BVI path for holding tokens. These are all just options that were presented to me literally yesterday on a phone call. So like, I'm just presenting them and being as transparent as I can, but those things haven't been like decided yet or in depth looked at further past that conversation. And we're waiting for letters of engagement to get signed and all that fun stuff before we can really dive down those paths.
Awesome. Thanks. Any other questions for Rare Finance and team?
No, but I do have a little gift for Hero. And if we do have questions, please go ahead.
I was going to say, to that point, I also look forward to like going to Consensus in June and trying to grab some politicians' ears, or potentially Rare Bloom. We don't have anybody lined up to come. I don't want to say that, but it would be nice if we could get Cynthia Loomis or, any of the other people. The governor of Colorado was at ETH Denver when I was there. So it'd be really nice. And we're reaching out to those people to get those people of power and influence and political power to come and talk. Like I would love to have that conversation and discuss how we all work together moving forward. I mean, that's probably the biggest risk to all of this,
Yeah. regulation and uncertainty is definitely the biggest risk to crypto in general, I think, right? And 4 years ago we wouldn't even have been talking about regulation. We'd been talking about fuck them. So this space has changed a lot over the years, and I think regulation is needed in some capacity for clarity. And if we want to continue to take over the world, that's what needs to happen.
Yeah, and I think our government is showing that there is will to bend. The old guard is retiring, to put it nicely, and there are young, very intelligent minds coming up that understand that we can't lose this innovation. Like, it can't leave. Like, I work with some hedge funds that have moved from the United States to, Puerto Rico and the BVI, and are moving out of state. And it's just kind of like all this money, and these people are literally leaving. Like, they're moving out of the United States. Not just their businesses are leaving, like the innovation and the mind drain is happening, and we can't allow that. And we have to work overtime to allow for this innovation to continue here. That's what we were built on. And let it keep going, and work with it in a taxable and regulatable manner. I believe there is a happy medium. I don't like to get too polarized on any one issue, because there's got to be a happy medium. And I think that's a lot of the issue these days, especially over the past few years, is people are just very polarized and quick to jump to one side of an argument.
I agree. Any final words from Rare Bloom? Or I'm sorry, Rare Finance. I was Rare Bloom event.
Either or, get your tickets. We appreciate you guys, and thank you for the time.
My daddy left home when I was 3, and he didn't leave much to Ma and me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. No, I don't blame him because he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought it was quite a joke, and they got a lot of laughs from lots of folk. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle, and I'd get red. Some guy'd laugh, and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick, and I grew up mean. My fists got hard, and my wits got keen, and I roamed from town to town to hide my shame.
Yeehaw.
But I made me a vow to the moon and stars that I'd reach the honky-tonks and bars and kill that man who gave me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town, my throat was dry, and I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. At an old saloon on a street of mud, there at a table dealing stud, sat that dirty mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from the worn out pictures that my mother had, and I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you're gonna die." Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, I came up with a knife and I cut off a piece of my ear. But I went for his gun, but I heard him laugh and I heard him cuss. I went for his gun and I pulled mine first. He stood there looking at me and I saw him smile. And he said, "Son, this world is rough. If a man's gonna make it, well, it's gonna be tough. I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I give you that name and I said goodbye. And I knew you have to get tougher or die. And it's that name that helped to make you strong." And he said, "Now, you just fought one hell of a fight. And I know you hate me, but you got the right to kill me now. Wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in the guts and the spit in your eye. 'Cause I'm that son of a bitch that named you Sue." Well, I got all choked up and threw down my gun. And he called me Pa and I called him son. And I went home with a different point of view. Well, I think about him every now and then, every time I try and every time I win. Hell, if I ever son, I think I'm gonna name him Bill or George or anything but Sue. I still hate that name.
Oh, I asked for the boy named Sue by the Man in Black months and months and months and months ago, and I finally got it. I can't believe it.
Love you, hero.
Thanks, Chris.
That was awesome.
For those of you that don't know, that was Johnny Black, the Man in Black. Johnny Cash, the Man in Black. Christ, I can't even talk. I'm so excited.
I'll do a better one later.
I need an NFT, Chris.
So
Copy.
I can't believe nobody's come up here and asked some real questions.
I guess
want some real questions, Joe. Not Discord bot questions.
I guess they trust you. I don't know. Maybe it's just. I think everybody's still in the state of shock, right? For those that have never witnessed an 80% dip in crypto prices before, they're probably shell shocked.
Yeah, I remember that feeling.
It's kind of funny, right? Because, 4 or 5 years ago, I'd have been panicking, going crazy. Now I'm here talking about rare finance and what we're building on Cardano because I don't even give a shit about the price. So I guess that makes me a veteran.
I give a little bit of a shit about the price, but only in that I need to trade to stack more ADA, and that way I have more ADA.
I like your thought process, sir.
I think it's kind of cool. I got in at almost $3, and it's been downhill ever since.
So
it's so true.
There it is. There's who crashed the fucking market, folks.
We're coming for you. We're coming back for you, Big Joe. Don't worry.
Yeah, we got you.
Big Joe, not only are we coming back to where you bought in, but we're going to go a little bit past that, I think. All in due time. It's not about time in the market, Big Joe. It's about time in the market because I bought the top in 2018 also. So don't feel bad.
Yeah, I ain't tripping. I've had a blast. It's awesome.
Just don't look at your portfolio. No portfolio glances, my friend.
Well, Big Joe is like an NFT mastermind, so I'm sure that Big Joe has been stacking the right NFTs.
I went and got a job at Taco Bell. If you check out my NFT, I got to go to work.
I work at Steak and Shake. I win.
Oh, man. I got tacos, though.
I got whatever the fuck Steak and Shake makes.
Listen, I got a controversial topic that we need to talk about before we get through the show. And it does have to deal with one of the rare finance team members. I don't even know how to bring this up. TCT. Your PFP. Somebody had said that that's not you. And I just don't understand how they don't. Please, can we get that picture of you versus your PFP? And then this is controversial. I need a vote.
While he's smoking a cigarette.
It's just missing a mustache. But I guess he might have shaved that off by now.
Well,
he needs the full beard on his bits.
Yeah, how can we get a beard on that bit? Is there another?
I like bearded bits. I'm just kidding.
I do too. My bits are all aliens. I kind of went on the alien bit tour.
Like an Englishman in New York? Sorry.
Yes.
I'll think about it, but because of what I did to Quasar's dad, I'm worried that my picture might end up on Cardano blockchain forever.
Yeah, for any of you that aren't aware, if you go look at Alessandro's new policy, the one that you can like upload your own IPFS hash via his GitHub site, there are 3 Quasar's dads. Not 1, not 2, but 3.
Really?
Is this a movement? We just start NFTing our fathers?
No, just Quasar's father.
Copy.
Quasar, I am not your father.
Lido,
Yo,
do it up. Don't you want to do the Lido
this
minute?
is your Lido Minute
When's
on
when's
Cardano
voting?
Over Coffee. Today is Wednesday, and so that means there's your Catalyst weekly Catalyst Town Hall, where you can learn about all things Catalyst, learn about people building on Catalyst, learn about all the important dates. If you submit a proposal in Fund 8, results should be announced either tomorrow or Friday. The next important date in Catalyst is June 1st. That's when Fund 9 kick off with $12.8 million towards proposals and the rest of the $60 million budget towards all of the 8 ways, not 9, that you can participate in Catalyst and get compensated. A tweet about all such things will be pinned to the top shortly. My name is Darlington, your favorite code dreamer at lidonation.com, where we provide hype-free education in plain English, Espanol, and Swahili. Our homepage has been redesigned to be a perfect landing page for anybody who's brand new into crypto, who's curious about Catalyst, or is ready to go deeper into blockchain concepts. Check that out at lidonation.com. And that's your Lido Minute.
And I want to ask one of the co-hosts. There's the first pin by Bunny Crypto Phase 21. Delete that, and then the second one for the Discord. Delete that one also, please. TCT. I think they created a new one or something. I don't know.
Thank you, Hero.
Yes, sir. So, Lido, you have a stake pool, don't you? So all these people that are in this room that just bought the dip because, they're out buying the dip, they should go and stake to your pool, because LidoNation.com is a true asset to this community, and you should get paid for your work. So check out Lido stake pool.
Wait, but what about rare stake pool? Because it's the rare finance coffee over rare finance.
So there's this feature in almost all the wallets now, except the wallets that are dead and deadless, where you can stake to multiple stake pools. You can have one passphrase, split your bags. Most wallets let you do up to 5 accounts. That's an option.
If you think that you want to invest in rare, by all means, stake to the rare pool and get them P-rare tokens, right? P-rare? Yeah. Epoch has a pool. He could always use some help. TCT does not have a pool, so you can't stake to him. But get your ADA off exchanges, help decentralization. Go ahead, R.
There's also, and this may have already been mentioned, Hero Pool. And pretty soon, I think there's even going to be an 8-out pool.
Oh, nice. 8-out's doing a pool. That's cool.
Well, we gotta figure out the conclave, Hero.
I want to be in your conclave, That sounds amazing.
Lido, there's no one I would rather conclave with.
Aw.
Aw.
Oh, you guys. You guys, I love you guys.
Welcome to the cult segment of this show.
What's your social? Welcome.
Please drink Kool-Aid that is being supplied to you now. So what's up, everybody? How's everybody feeling today? Be okay?
I was just going to say, I'm so excited for this party to actually be in person in October.
Yeah, it's going to be... I heard Linda's flying in. Uh-oh. I owe her a beer or 12 or something. I don't know.
I think I owe her schnapps.
Oh, she's in for a rough time. Poor Linda.
I know.
Linda asked me to collect all her owing, so I'll be tracking you down personally.
I got you. I'll buy you one anyways later.
So what kind
Who
of
knows?
schnapps? Is this peach schnapps?
Watermelon, the worst kind.
Oh, that's just cruel.
I was gonna get Niels and Linda and Patrick all drunk on schnapps.
Oh man, that's a hell of a crew to get drunk.
Especially on schnapps. That's gonna take a while. Like, I'll bring the blunt. You guys bring the schnapps. We'll meet in the middle.
Blunt and schnapps.
I have verbal email confirmation from the National Act we're booking for Rare Bloom, but I don't have the contract in hand, and I really want to say who it is for the after party. I'm debating.
ASAP Rock.
No.
Snoop Dogg.
Blondie.
No.
It's
we're
not
we're a first year event. I don't think we could afford Snoop Dogg.
Exhibit.
No rides will be pimped.
He does a
at the Rare
tour. He
Bloom.
does the tour of the convention center and doesn't perform.
What genre of music is maybe gets that way?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say their personal style would be like a funk rock band, but they are an amazing chameleon national act. They play like tons of covers from rock to all types of stuff.
War Pigs to No Diggity would be the way I'd explain it.
P-Funk? No.
Yeah, like all the way from War Pigs to No Diggity, No Doubt. Yeah. They've played Red Rocks. They'll be at Bonnaroo. They'll be at all the big music festivals this summer. It's going to be a good time.
So Linda is laughing at all of us, but she's multitasking because apparently Charles has a space right now and she's co-hosting. So shout out to Linda for hanging out at Cardano Over Coffee while co-hosting Uncle Charlie's space.
What? Shout out. That's what's up.
I'll buy her another beer. So that's like 43 or some shit. I don't know.
So the last time I did that, when I was in two spaces, I got ghosted. I think TCT was in that room with me too, and the space would not shut down for like a week, even though there wasn't a space. So we'll see what happens.
That happened.
That was the longest Twitter space ever. It was up there forever in a day. Tommy, I love your PFP.
Yeah, it's the piece from Jason Matias, the May the 4th edition. Yeah, it was really cool. So I think I'll be rocking it for the month.
Yeah, I got one too. I was shout out to Jason, one of my favorite one-on-one artists on Cardano. Full disclosure, I do own his physical pieces too. So
nice. Which one did you get? Sorry.
I got the Tree of Fire. However, I had it delivered to my mom's, and it has since been stolen by my mom. It's like 48 by 60, so it's pretty big, right? I'll tell you what, it's the most amazing photo, and it looks good in her living room. Someday I'll get it back.
Nice.
Yeah, he really does some amazing work. And when I saw that he was doing that kind of flash sale on that day, and it was only for 44 ADA, I mean, I thought for sure. I mean, he provides a lot of amazing things to the community. Incredibly knowledgeable, and he's willing to share that knowledge too. So, yeah, for sure.
Hell yeah. Cookthyme. We're getting towards the end. Anything you want to spit out?
No, I got nothing today. I saw the price and I'm just gonna chill. I think yeah, you guys did the mid roll. Everyone knows where to tune in. We got the Ada Cafe Discord. If you want to catch up with all the shows that the Ada Cafe supports, just stake to Epoch Pool, Hero Pool, Lido Pool. There's a few people. I'm in training for this mid roll. Some people don't have a pool. I don't have a pool. TCT doesn't have a pool. R doesn't have a pool. I'll get
A
better
good
at
a good hack for
Sorry.
the mid-roll cookthyme is to crowdsource it. I do that all the time. I'm like, okay, folks, let's crowdsource the mid-roll. You all do the mid-roll. You get like 50 random things. Half of them not correct, but it works,
Yeah.
I think.
And TCT does not have a pool, but TCT does have to get to work. So I do love you all very much.
But wait a minute, TCT, you are a co-host, so you are working right now. But you can go to
I have no mute powers. I had to yell at Epoch earlier. I think I've been pushed out.
I missed you. Oh, you did yell at Epoch. I'm sorry. I remember now.
Also, the show has a new format now. So Monday is a full banter day. So as you go into the weekend or come out of the weekend, something to be thinking about. Come to the show on Monday with some good banter.
Usually I don't look forward to Mondays, but that suddenly has changed.
Right?
Kind
I literally have sticky notes that I have been sticking things on.
Oh my God, we're in trouble on Monday. I better schedule a third hour for the show or something. I don't have anything. Check out Rare Finance Discord. Do you have a webpage? Just a quick overview before we get out of here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Check out the Discord. We do have, I believe, rarepool.fi. It will be up soon. But I'm not exactly sure if that's up currently or not. It might be a landing page. I'm not exactly sure. Discord is the best place. Twitter is the best place currently. We do have a Git book. And yes, the website should be up very soon.
And then stake to rare, so you're part of the snapshot, so you can get your P-rares.
Yes, stake to Rare Pool, RARE, or Lido, or Epoch, or Hero Pool. As long as it's part of the community and you're decentralizing your ADA, we appreciate it. I agree.
I gotta go create a wallet. God damn, another seed phrase. Gosh darn it.
Just send it to my wallet, and it'll be staked in rare.
Can I send you my cold keys too? I mean, do you want those?
No, I think that very literally it was like, yeah. If you can send me your cold keys, I will make sure to delegate part of your stake to rare for you, Hero. No, I mean it.
I believe it. I think I'll ponder that for a few. Give me a little bit.
Yeah, you can delegate. We'll take care of you.
Oh, I'm gonna delegate something. I gotta get me some P rares. I can't be left behind. And with the team, I would invest in the team. So that's what it's more about for me, is seeing who the team is and what they're trying to do. So I feel comfortable investing in this team.
Thanks, Hero.
I appreciate that. I'm humbled, and I hope we can keep that reputation and do good by the community.
Don't go quantity, please.
No, I do. Nothing more I could say, sir. I appreciate it, and I want us to all do the journey together, and I want it to be fun and decentralized and profitable for all. I think we're in a very unique situation and time here, and I think it's really fun to be a part of it. So I tweeted today, don't look at the price, make friends, and build something.
Yeah, and all joking aside, in regards to some of the Luna and UST stuff, it really does underline the importance of trying to put some thinking in terms of the tokenomics and the underlying, those type of things that are so crucially important. And so that's why we're trying to do these things to create an ecosystem that's sustainable, and that's not this inflationary type of Ponzi dynamic. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's so many lessons to be learned from this, and I hope people, who are outside of it that aren't in the process of getting erect are learning from others' mistakes, right? So I don't know. I'm just waiting for Epoch to. I guess we can just talk about whatever until then. So
I'm waiting for the right time.